Hey guys, so I had some great questions about my grading policy. So it is 90% assessments, I know, and then it's also 10% towards their notebook checks. And so the way the assessment category, which is 90%, the way it works is we'll do 2-unit tests and then we'll do a cumulative test, and then we'll do it again. We'll do 2 more unit tests and then a cumulative test. For the unit test, it's pretty traditional where it's part multiple choice and then part written. Multiple choice, when I grade it and scan it, I run a report just to see if there's any problems that students missed. If there's one that a considerable number of students missed, then I'll consider curving the test. So yeah, I just take that into account when I grade the unit test. Now the cumulative test, that's the big incentive to help students boost their grade. The cumulative test, I've written it, it's a multiple choice test, and it is equally portioned out based on the content from the 2 previous unit tests. So you can see what I do is I actually type up a topic list for the cumulative exam and I give it to the students. It's super helpful because I don't want there to be any surprises. It lists exactly the format of the test. It gives you the section, and then I describe the problems that are going to be on the cumulative test. So I'm not trying to trick them. I literally am just giving them another opportunity to show that they understand the content through this cumulative exam. So each test will go in the grade out of 100. So again, first test, then second test, both out of 100, and then the cumulative goes in as its own test score out of 100. I'll look at the 2 previous tests. If one is lower than the cumulative, if it's higher, then I'll replace that lower score with the score that they got on the cumulative. Only if the cumulative's higher. I would never bring down a grade. So for example, if a student earned, let's say 95% on their first test, and then let's say the second test, they earned 80% on the test, then on the cumulative, let's say they got a 92%. And then of those 2, the lower score, I'll delete it, and then I'll replace it with that 92%. So now their grade has a 95%, a 92, and then a 92. So it works really well. It's an amazing incentive that I'm able to implement at my school. And the best part is I find as a teacher, it just keeps students super motivated to always be learning material. So like if there is a unit test that they do poorly on, then I can just reassure them it's okay. You can come to tutorial, you can ask questions. We can make sure that you get that material learned so that you can show proficiency on the cumulative exam. And the other thing I love is that because AP Calculus content just builds, it keeps students motivated to continue learning towards the AP exam. And so I've just found that it's been a great system in my classroom. This system has worked really well, and I really appreciate being able to do it and giving the students opportunities to boost up their grade. So that's my grading policy, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. All right, guys, thanks for watching.